Are you a busy mom that feels like your family suffers whenever you try to lean in and hit a goal in your network marketing business? I cannot tell you how many times I used to feel this way early on in my business, and how many clients and team members have told me that this is a struggle of their own. Many people, even at the top of their network marketing business, still believe, but maybe they won't tell you this, that you have to sacrifice your family in order to have massive success. And that's just not true. When I very first started building, that was my belief. But what I didn't know then, that I learned a year or two later, is that there are other ways so that it doesn't have to be so miserable and it doesn't have to be so black and white. See, the human brain is very black and white thinking. It's a thing that keeps you alive, but it's also a thing that can cause problems for you when you are staring down the barrel of challenges, like trying to learn to do a new thing that you've never done before. So for example, when your brain looks at getting to your next rank or growing super fast to get to the top of your company, your brain is going to look for examples of its own experience and examples of other people around you. And if all you've ever seen in your network marketing company are people that ignore their families to get to the top of their business, and that's the only way that you've ever learned how to do it, then your brain is going to have a belief and decide that that's the only way to do it. And then it's going to gather evidence to prove how that's just not morally and ethically in line with what you want to do. And the thing about our brains is that they are there to do two things: to prove you right and keep you safe. And so if your brain has this belief that the only way to get to the top of your network marketing company is to ignore your family and go all in on your business, that just sounds awful. Who wants to do that? No, it is not the way to do it. And there is another way to do it. But if that's all you've ever seen, if that's all your uplines have ever done, if that's the only way that they know how to teach you, then your brain is going to say, network marketing must not be for me. Instead of getting really curious and looking at a different way to approach it. And so what I want to talk to you today is about how you can balance business and motherhood. And it is going to be a struggle, because anything new is a struggle. This is because you have a prefrontal cortex, and your prefrontal cortex thinks about its own thinking. Anytime that it can master a task so that you can operate on auto drive and conserve energy, it's going to download it to your lower primitive brain. Your lower primitive brain is the part of your brain that remembers how to get home from the grocery store without needing the GPS. It's your lower brain that remembers how to get onto Zoom without needing an instruction list of things. Like the first time you got on Zoom back years ago, before the pandemic, right? Everybody was like, oh my gosh, have you used Zoom? Have you heard of this thing called Zoom? And all the network marketers were like, yeah, we've been using it for 4 years. But the first time you got on Zoom, before nobody even knew what it was, you had to use your prefrontal to follow directions to do it. After you did it a couple of times, your prefrontal effectively and efficiently downloaded it to your lower brain. So now you can do it without thinking about it. You can do it running on the treadmill. You can do it while walking around your house. You can do it while making dinner. You don't even have to think about it. So any time that you're learning how to balance business and motherhood, the very first time, it's going to be a struggle. And you're going to feel like, because you have this black and white thinking brain to keep you safe and make you right, it's going to feel like you're choosing between running a business and raising children. Similar to when you first had a baby and you felt like you had to choose between showering and taking care of your newborn, or choosing between eating and feeding your newborn. See, there it happened again there too. This belief in network marketing of choosing between running a business and raising your children is oftentimes fueled by the mantra that I hate, which is make the short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain. This is your most dangerous thought, by the way, and I wish that companies would stop saying it, because what it insinuates is that you're just going to have to work for a short amount of time to never work again. And that is not true about any successful business. See, when you make network marketing painfully ride or die 24/7, choose business over family for a short amount of time, then you start activating willpower. And willpower is that white knuckle grip of just get through it till we can have some relief and feel better once we get to the top of the company. And then you just burn out on the way. But it can be so much more fun than that. What if you could build your business without white knuckle gripping it? What if you could build your business without a short-term horrible sacrifice? What if you loved network marketing so much that you didn't want to quit working when you hit the top of the company? Because this is what I believe about network marketing. Getting to the top of the company is like getting your degree in network marketing. And once you're at the top of the company, that's when everything gets really fun. It's sort of like going to school to become a doctor. The dream is when you get your white coat. The work that you do in order to get the white coat, to go to school, to take the classes, to do your residency, to be able to learn all of the things so that you can practice medicine. That's the dream. That's what doing network marketing as a career that you're proud of, that you love, that gives you time freedom, that gives you all the fun things that it just naturally embodies, so that your children can have a present mom. That's what this is. That's what this can be. And when you white knuckle grip a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain, it's just like, nobody wants to do that. No, what I want to show you how to do is the greatest industry on earth and the most fun job ever. And that is network marketing when done right. It's not having a white knuckle grip. It's having fun while you're doing it, getting really good at the skills so that it's something that you want to do, not have to do, not something to get over with, but to get into and enjoy. And what I have found is that the short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain is actually the worst approach. And it's not as glamorous as it's made out to be. It's not as glamorous as I once thought it was, because anyone that has ever run a marathon knows you don't sprint up the hill in the first 4 miles. There's one way to ruin your back and ruin enjoying the race, and it's to sprint too fast, too soon. Now, when you do the short-term sacrifice, it will lead to a strained relationship with your kids and your husband, but more than anyone else, with yourself. it sacrifices your well-being. And so some of the things that really helped me learn to do it a different way, and I learned to do this about 11 months in when I started feeling burned out. And the way that I learned to do this is I started setting up a daily mode of operation where I would go to my computer in the morning. Well, first, I started a practice of waking up in the morning and not looking at my phone first thing. I went up, I would wake up, I would go pee. Now I do my breathing exercises with my essential oils in my hands. I get my workout clothes on. I brush my teeth. I go out and I take my supplements. I feed my dog. I look at my husband and children in the eyes. Go figure. And then I go out to my porch and I sit on my porch and I look at God's beautiful creation in front of me because I live on a mountain. And I just look up and I look at how beautiful it is. I listen to the birds. It's amazing. And then I get my phone out and I go through my text messages. And then I go through my Facebook messages. Sometimes I make a social media post before I do any of that because I just want what's fresh on my mind. I don't want to be influenced by a circumstance of someone in a message that might shift my mood that I've just so beautifully set for myself with my morning routine. And so sometimes I'll go do all my social media posts and then I'll go through and do my text messages, my Facebook messages, my Instagram messages. Three-way chats could be done here as well. It's this. And then once that is all done and everything is cleared, then I go exercise. Well, usually I have a banana and 3 Brazil nuts. They're full of selenium and they're great for your thyroid. I use a banana for a pre-workout, by the way, because pre-workouts, I have a metabolic condition that I can't do caffeine. I can do Dr. Pepper, but I can't do like any pre-workouts or anything. I get so sick because my body can't metabolize it. And so I use a banana as a pre-workout. So I have my banana and my Brazil nuts, and then I go exercise. And then after I exercise, I shower and shave my legs every day. Yes, because I love the way that shaved legs feel in my sheets every single night. It just slip right in. They're so soft and silky. And then I go do a Zoom call. And then after that, I go through my texts, my Facebook messages, my Instagram messages. This can be done in 10 minutes, 5 minutes sometimes, even with a massive team and momentum. And then send out any messages for new reach outs or whatever it is that you do. And then go live your life. Go to lunch with a friend. Go on a walk. Take your dog for a walk. Go run errands. Go to the grocery store. Do something. Get your head up from the screen. And then get your kids home, do dinner, do homework, do whatever, get them baths in bed, and then check your messages again. Respond to posts, do all the things, send out new messages, do follow-ups, and then put the phone to bed in a different room than you. I have an alarm clock. You can buy those still. And then I read a book and I do my oils, breathe my oils in. And I do that for like an hour before bed, just reading in my bed with my dog snoring and Sean snoring. And then I go to bed. And that is my daily mode of operation that helped me get out of burnout about 11 months into network marketing. And if you will have this daily mode of operation, it will change your life forever too. The other thing that I did is I started doing small rewards for myself. So I would do things for my family when we would hit certain ranks, when we would get 20 people to join in a day. We would go out to dinner, or we would go do something fun together as a family, like go to the dinosaur museum, or with bigger ranks, we did like Disneyland, just fun activities, staycations, things like that for the bigger things, so that there was a reward. And this helps your family feel like family time and connection is still a priority, even with the intense demands of your business. The other thing that I started doing, this was much later in my network marketing career. This was like 5 years in. It took me that long to figure this out. But this one is the most important one that I hope that you will start doing, because when I started doing this, my income doubled and then tripled. Taking Sundays off. And I don't just mean taking Sundays off. I mean taking Sundays off of your phone. So on Saturday nights, I put my phone into airplane mode and I put it face down in our like front entry room. And I don't turn it on until Monday morning. And all day Sunday, I don't look at social media. I don't see a text. I don't hold a phone in my hand, nothing. My closest friends and family know if they need to get a hold of me, they can text my husband who keeps his phone on. But I take an entire day where I am not distracted by business or friends or social media. And it is my favorite thing that I put into place so that I could build my business and be present with my family and make them a priority. It's my favorite day to watch movies with my kids, play games with them. We'll sit by the pool together, a little hot tubbing, whatever. I don't document any of it on social media. It's just our day to be alone, and I love it so much. The other thing that I want you to do is embrace imperfection, embrace the B- work. So often we think we have to be at an A+ to put something on social media or put something out there, and you just don't. You just don't. One thing that I learned really early on is the importance of showing up regardless of how much I knew. Perfection is an illusion. And in reality, life is full of unseen incidents and unplanned disruptions. These disruptions, like the barking dog on your reel, or the kids that walk in when you're trying to do a Zoom, or whatever interruption is happening, all of those elements make us human and they make us more relatable. Embrace this authenticity about your life. Let B- work be enough, because I promise you it is. Perfection is not attractive. It's not something that people are attracted to. And that is when you're truly going to start to see consistency in all areas of your life, when you don't have to show up in perfection. Interruptions are fine. It all makes you more human and more relatable, and other people watching you work your business in a B- way, because you don't have to be perfect all the time on social media and on calls and wherever. It's going to make other people see that they can do it too. If all you're doing is showing your team how perfect everything is, they're going to think they can never do it. And you're not even doing it perfectly. It's an illusion. It's not real. The other thing that I want you to do is I want to include your family in all the adventures. Becoming an entrepreneur doesn't mean isolating yourself from your family. In fact, it's an opportunity to involve them in your exciting journey. Teach them about what you're doing. Let them be involved in it. Let the transformation be something that you're doing together, so that they can be proud of the business that they helped you build. And when they look back on growing up with a mom that did network marketing, they can look back on that time as something that they saw you grow into an even better version of yourself. I don't want to say better. I hate saying better, because then it just infers that like we weren't as good before, and we were. But I want you to take the opportunity where your kids can look back on watching you peel away one layer after another layer after another layer, that they got to just keep seeing additional layers of you year after year on your entrepreneurial journey. And having them be a part of that adventure, they're going to see layers of themselves peeled away on that process too. And that is just such an amazing gift. So I hope this resonated with you today. No matter where you're at in your business, I want you to know you don't have to choose between your family and building a successful business. I have built, 5 different businesses that have been 7-figure businesses, like 7-figure a year businesses. And I am more connected to my family, more committed to family time, and prioritizing them before work than ever before. And the reason why I think I'm able to be more and more successful as time goes on is because I continue to prioritize the things that are most important to me first, family and God, over business. Where in the beginning, when I was building from this mindset of short-term loss for long-term gain, it actually limited me because I had to disconnect from those things in order to do it that way, because I was white knuckle gripping so much. So there's just something so much better out there for you. And I hope that you gleaned some of that today and that you can go out and reach your potential and have crazy massive success in network marketing without having to do the short-term loss for the long-term gain, because it's a long-term gain when you connect with your family and God and everything else that's important to you first. Let business be an additional layer of that beautiful part of you, not what jumps ahead in line of everything else. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.